Regarde, vous avez votre petit chien qui vous accompagne.
Ouais, je sais pas.
C'est pas le chien, c'est vrai que ça presque.
Peut-être que ça veut dire qu'il va falloir soigner un chien.
On a Scout déjà. C'est notre chien adoptif.
Ben, on attendait que vous. Ça oui. Non. Garde ton verre. Il n'y en a pas beaucoup. Tiens-le bien.
Voilà, merci bien.
Tu manges déjà, Papou, des sucreries? Ouais. C'est plus que c'était les grands-parents. Hein.
Bien, mon amour, je te laisse commencer.
Marie et O'Neill, rassurez-vous.
Regarde, quand il y a tout passé, c'est bon. On recommence.
Marie O'Neill.
Mary O'Neill.
Rassurez-vous, Philippe ne va pas répéter tout ce que je dis, mais nous allons tenter de faire notre petit discours en français et en anglais.
Rest assured, I will not repeat everything Cecilia says, but we will try to give our little speech in French and in English.
Et si nous nous embrouillons un peu en français, il faudra mettre ça sur le compte de l'émotion. Et en anglais, sur le compte de Google Traduction.
And if we get confused a bit, for French, it will have to be attributed to emotion, and for English, to Google Translation.
Donc, Marie O'Neill, aujourd'hui est un jour très spécial. D'abord parce que vous êtes désormais unis pour la vie, et plus si affinité, mais également à cause de la période particulière que nous vivons aujourd'hui. Aussi, nous voudrions avoir une pensée pour tous ceux qui vous aiment et qui n'ont pas pu être avec nous aujourd'hui, particulièrement Linwood et Jacques. Nous savons qu'il manque à votre joie et surtout à celle d'O'Neill. Nul doute, nous pourrons nous rattraper très bientôt.
So, Mary O'Neill, today is a very special day. First of all, because you are now united for life and maybe more, but also because of the particular period in which we are living. So we would like to have a thought for all those who love you and who couldn't be there. Especially Linwood and Jack. We know you and especially O'Neill miss them. There is no doubt that we will be able to catch up very soon.
Par ces quelques mots, nous voulons vous dire combien nous vous aimons et combien nous sommes heureux d'accueillir O'Neill dans notre famille. Et même si cela augmente légèrement le nombre de représentants de la jante masculine dans la famille, les filles restent quand même en supériorité.
With these few words, we want to tell you how much we love you and how happy we are to welcome O'Neill into our family. And even if this slightly increase the number of male representatives in the family, boys will remain in the minority.
Bon, Marie, là, c'est le moment où l'on parle de toi. Ça fait des mois que l'on met de côté toutes les anecdotes te concernant. Et il y a beaucoup à raconter. Le problème est qu'il y en a tellement qu'il a été difficile de faire notre choix. Alors, tu t'en sors bien. Nous allons tout garder pour nous. Mais nous restons disponibles pendant la soirée pour toutes les personnes qui voudraient entendre nos histoires.
Okay, Mary, this is the moment we talk about you. It's been months since we put all the anecdotes about you aside, and there is a lot to tell. The problem is that there are so many that it was difficult to make our choice. So you are doing fine. We'll keep it all to ourselves. But we remain available during the evening for anyone who would like to hear our stories.
S'il n'y a qu'une chose à dire, nous parlerons simplement du jour où tu nous as présenté O'Neill. Ce jour-là, nous avons vu dans tes yeux la petite lumière qui nous a fait penser que c'était le bon. Cette petite lumière qui, nous l'espérons, ne s'éteindra pas.
If there's just one thing, we just talk about the day you introduced O'Neill to us. That day we saw the little light in your eyes that make us think it was the right one. the little light that we hope won't go out.
O'Neill, ça y est, c'est ton tour. Philippe et moi voulons tout d'abord te redire à quel point nous sommes heureux que tu fasses partie de notre famille. Surtout que si nous sommes là aujourd'hui, c'est quand même grâce à toi. Heureusement que tu avais gardé le numéro de téléphone de Marie. et que tu as remué ciel et terre pour la retrouver. Désolée d'évoquer cette partie de votre histoire, mais il faudra t'y faire. Nul doute que tu l'entendras encore.
O'Neill, that's it. It's your turn. Cecilia and I first want to tell you again how happy we are that you are part of our family. Especially if we are here today, it's still thanks to you. Fortunately, you have kept Mary's phone number and you moved even and us to find her. Sorry to bring up that part of your story, but you will have to get used to it. No doubt you will hear it again.
Nous allons terminer notre petit discours en vous souhaitant le meilleur pour de très très longues années. Profitez de chaque instant, profitez de la vie, nous vous aimons.
We are going to end our little speech by wishing you the best for many, many years to come. Enjoy every moment, enjoy life. We love you.
On ne croise pas. Merci. Merci beaucoup.
Well done, well done. Très bien.
Okay.
So in just a moment, I think O'Neill and Marie will find a spot to sit down and we'll hear a set of remarks from other folks.
Ah ouais, t'as vu, hein? T'as vu, hein?
Moi non plus, en fait.
J'allais dire, tu la gardes demain.
C'était bon, vous avez entendu? Parfait.
It was wonderful. Thank you so much.
Magnifique.
On a hâte de vous voir.
We can't wait to see you guys.
We can't wait to see you again.
Oh, yes.
In real.
Il y a mes parents.
President of America.
Okay.
We'll come as soon as we possibly can.
Thank you.
Ça, c'est mon père et ma mère.
Bisous.
Yeah, we're here. We've got the chairs right here.
On va s'asseoir avec la famille de Nugi parce qu'ils ont préparé des petits discours.
Oui.
I don't know whether anyone at your end is going to be able to use their cell phones to zoom into the rest of this, but
They've all got the link. I think there's they're going to occupy themselves with lawn games and stuff.
right.
I want to just try and switch from the big microphone just to the computer microphone. I think there'll be less background noise. So I'm going to try and test this out. Can you hear me?
Yeah,
We can hear you just fine.
Okay.
And O'Neill, I would suggest also making sure that the sound output there is such that if even somebody on this end had a dim connection, you would be able to hear.
Okay.
Love you guys. We miss you.
Alors, c'est pas la vraie bague.
Okay. So I can unplug this. And we don't need that anymore. And then.
C'est trop beau, Loulou.
Ooh, that's a little bit lopsided.
Yeah.
Well, congratulations, guys. It's so great to see you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Good job.
They're still smiling.
Yeah.
So there's a number of people who have prepared toasts. First, my father, then Russ and Kate, Holly, Nick, Uncle David, Brendan and Justin, and I will say a few words. And then I think you guys had some stuff you wanted to say.
Yeah.
Shall we jump right in?
Yeah.
Okay, Dad, take it away.
Okay. And in case there's anybody listening who speaks French, they should pay attention to what I'm saying in English, and then they'll be able to understand what I'm trying to say in French. Because I have a confession to make. J'ai une confession à faire. I don't speak French. Je ne parle pas français. Sometimes this works out fine. Parfois, c'est pour le mieux. It helps me avoid embarrassing mistakes. Cela me sauve d'erreurs embarrassantes. For example, maybe Marie didn't notice when I started to introduce her in English as my daughter-in-law. Peut-être que Marie n'a pas remarqué que je la présentais comme ma belle-fille. This was 2 or 3 years ago. C'était il y a 2-3 ans. I don't know the French word for this kind of gaffe. Je ne connais pas le mot français pour ce genre de gaffe. In English, we call it a faux pas. En anglais, on dit faux pas. I think O'Neill and Marie speak mostly English to each other. Je crois que Marie et O'Neill se parlent principalement anglais. English is so precise. L'anglais est si précis. It's like cooking or painting, comme la cuisine ou la peinture. So in French, these two questions sound pretty much the same to me. En français, ces questions me semblent identiques. 2 questions. Comment lui a-t-il demandé de l'épouser? Comment lui a-t-elle demandé de l'épouser? In English, to me, they sound a little more different. How did he ask her? How did she ask him? I say, vive la différence. But now, we don't need English precision when we have the language of romance and the prettiest of words. Nous n'avons pas besoin de précision quand nous avons la langue de l'amour et la plus jolie des mots. Linwood and I are overjoyed to be able to introduce you à notre belle-fille, to our beautiful new daughter.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thanks so much. Russ and Kate.
Hi, you two. That was beautiful. We're all really excited to get to hear that in person at some point when we come visit you in France. So sorry that this isn't going to be in both of our voices. We, as you might expect, don't have much time to prepare a duet these days. So it's going to be in my voice, but it's going to come from all 3 of our hearts. So as far back as I can remember, which is almost 15 years ago now, which is wild, we recognized O'Neill for his exuberance. Whether it was his exuberance with his recent haircut or Blues, the newest Batman movie, or how beautiful a sunset was, it was a running concern or joke amongst our friends that one day Oni might just burst with joy. I'm still worried it could happen. But what I implicitly appreciated then as a joke, as I embraced him as a brother over our 4 years in Ohio, I explicitly acknowledge here today, which is that O'Neill has a wondrous ability to cherish. I think it's something Marie might have noticed in her vows as well. What produced a shocking exuberance in an 18-year-old boy now produces the man we saw married moments ago. I read it in his monthly Patreon updates. I hear it when he talks about painting landscapes or cooking delicious meals or the friends that we are lucky to share. And importantly, I hear it not just when he talks about Marie, but when he talks about everything they share, from their home to their meals, and especially to their shared sense of humor. I chose cherish as the word to describe this shining quality of O'Neill's because it felt right, but also because it translates really well. At its root, cherish is to care for or to hold dear, just as how in French we hear Oni call Marie ma chérie. Kate and I were lucky enough to spend 9 days of our honeymoon in Aix with these two beautiful souls, and we walked away struck by the magic of their world. Right, Lush? Today, I'd like us to raise a glass to honor that this magic comes from their shared commitment to cherishing, to holding a simple fruit salad or a dip at the Calanques as dear, to holding life as ma chérie. We love you.
Thank you.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
I think that's the first Zoom I've seen where I was more worried about the parents crying than the baby. Next, we're going to hear from O'Neill's sister, Holly.
It's wonderful to get to be with you virtually, and thanks for coming together to celebrate O'Neill and Marie. My story starts in O'Neill's early days living in Aix-en-Provence before he met, forgot, and met Marie again. Particular challenge. He was trying to get a date, and from what he reported to me, it was not going well. The problem, O'Neill said, was that he had absolutely no idea how to flirt in French. He claimed he was getting lost in translation. Now, could be the age difference, but I honestly can't testify that he could ever actually flirt in English either. But then I heard he had started seeing Marie, and I wondered how he had managed to get across this hurdle. When she came to Vermont, I was curious to see if they spoke English or French more with each other. As soon as I was in the room with O'Neill and Marie, it became obvious that language was the last thing that could get in the way of these two. You can see how much they love each other in every glance. But that said, I do think O'Neill has picked up a little bit of French romanticism. Like Russell, my heart gets particularly warm when he calls her chérie. He calls it out when they're cooking, asking for a certain ingredient, and he murmurs it softly to get her attention as they read on the couch together. Every time it is obvious how much Marie is treasured, cherished, his chérie. Marie, I'm so glad to welcome you into our family and to gain another sister. And O'Neill, congratulations. I don't think you could have flirted any better. Here's
Thank you.
Thank you so much. The next contribution is from Nick Velleman, and to make sure that the technology, that we were going to have a good connection, he sent this as a movie, which I will now share.
Can't hear.
On peut pas avoir la quiétude et l'accent géant.
Might have to share your audio. We can't hear.
Yeah, can't hear it, Ferry.
Can others hear this?
No.
Okay, hold on.
I think you may need to turn up your speakers so the microphone hears it through your speakers.
Through my
Sometimes
speakers. Good. Okay, that's exactly what I'm going to do. Hold on one sec. Can everyone else, including O'Neill and Marie, mute themselves for a moment so we don't get feedback?
Yes.
Hey, Fiery. Okay.
Nope.
Hey, Fiery.
Yes.
when you go to share your screen, I
Yes.
think there's a little checkbox that you can click that says share computer audio.
Ah, amazing.
Marie, I remember when you told me about the first time you met O'Neill. It was an event at the Marchute School, and you saw him from across the garden, and immediately you knew, I want to talk to that guy. I have a similar love at first sight story with O'Neill. I've been holding on to it for years, but now seems like a good time to share. And bear with me, I promise I'm not stealing your man. I met O'Neill when I was 13 in Washington, D.C. I was one of the new kids at his school, and I didn't know anyone. High school's a funny time because everyone's trying really hard to be cool. And I wasn't sure I was going to fit in, but O'Neill was probably the first person who I felt like was just trying to be himself. He had an open mind. He acted like he had little to prove, and something about that was encouraging to me. That was enough to make me feel like I was going to do okay. And without exchanging many words, I knew right away, just like Marie, I want to talk to that guy. I want to be his friend. When I think of the long list of things O'Neill and I have done together, my teenage self on that first day of school, who had no friends, would be overjoyed to know how much life and growing up O'Neill and I would have together. We lived together in France. He introduced me to cooking for myself and basically taught me French. We learned art together, walked in the footsteps of history's greatest, painted sunrises in Venice together, and I really don't think I would be the artist I am today if I didn't have O'Neill to learn it with. Most recently, this past Christmas, when I couldn't be with my family because of the pandemic, O'Neill and Marie shared theirs with me so that I wouldn't be alone. Marie, I remember when you told me about the first time you met O'Neill, out because the list is long. But I want to share how O'Neill shaped my life because I know I'm not alone. All of us gathered today in person or tuning in from around the world have been shaped profoundly by you, O'Neill, and you, Marie. You are both wealthy with good people in your lives, and each of them holds a star in the constellation of who you are individually and now together. And as the dust from this pandemic settles, I look forward to both of you reconnecting with all of them. Marie, when you saw O'Neill that first time, you had a feeling and you went with it. I want to talk to that guy. I had the same experience too when I was 13 on my first day of school. I had a feeling and I followed it. I want to talk to that guy. I want to be friends with that guy. In those moments, we were compelled and moved by something from within, but we had no way of knowing how much good it would bring into our lives. But thank goodness we listened to it, right? The last thing I'll say is that feelings hold truth. They can't be measured by reason, and they require trust. Sometimes they scream at us, but way more often they whisper, and we need to be able to listen when they do. So with that, I'd like to make a toast to the two of you. I'm so thankful you found each other. I know how much you love each other and how much support and comfort you provide each other. And I wish you both a prosperous life together, attentive to and guided by what each other's hearts are whispering.
Thank you for the technical help, and thank you for such a touching toast, Nick. Next up, we have my and O'Neill's uncle, David.
Thank you, Fiery. So I wanted to extend our excitement and indicate we're all very thrilled from the Andrews side of the family to see you both married. Marie, Welcome to the family. We feel like you've been part of it already for several years. We knew we'd like you when we first met because we're a family that appreciates the finer things in life. And nothing epitomizes the pinnacle of civilized life more than a good dessert. I can still taste the wonderful cake you made from scratch, served to us on Thanksgiving several years ago, and we can't wait for a return performance. O'Neill, when you left for France to explore your inner artist, we imagined you finding subjects and landscapes to paint, but we never imagined you would also find a wife. When we first met Marie and you told us she was a pastry chef, I immediately imagined cream puffs being served on a regular basis. Reality soon set in and I realized that only you would be served cream puffs on a regular basis. Life is so unfair and you are a lucky guy. Très bien. And I want to leave you with one question. Are you sure Marie was talking in her sleep? Viva the executive chef Marie and her new sous chef O'Neill.
Thank you.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
And next we have Brendan, who will be speaking for himself and also for Justin.
Hey, how you doing, everybody? My name is Brendan. I'm a friend of O'Neill's from Kenyon. Thank you to O'Neill and Marie and everyone else for being here, and Fiery for facilitating this part of the proceedings. I'm going to be reading a toast from our friend Justin, who wasn't able to make it today, but I wanted to take the opportunity to share some of my own words briefly. I am grateful to have been surrounded for most of my life by sweet, thoughtful, funny people, many of whom are on this call. But I think nobody has taught me more about love than O'Neill, and really in moments when I needed to learn about it. And in the depths of my first true heartbreak, I was convinced, as one often is when one is heartbroken in one's early 20s, that I would never love another person, and skeptical even that I had ever actually been in love in the first place, or indeed that anyone could ever be in love, or that love was real. I was young, I didn't know. But O'Neill knew, and what he told me was that in time, I would be shocked to discover that I was grateful to have been in love, even though it ended, and that even more shockingly, it would make me able to love more deeply in the future. And when he said this to me, I thought he was full of shit, but he was right. And what anyone who knows O'Neill knows is that he is someone who absolutely radiates love and loves to be in love and has so much love to give. And I just know that Marie is the same, and I am so excited to learn more about love from both of them together. And I'm grateful to be from a distance in your lives. And so now I am going to read from Justin's toast. I'm not going to do a Justin impression because I'm too emotional. Okay. O'Neill and Marie, I'm so sorry I couldn't deliver this toast in person, mainly because Brendan's monotone ass is now going to have to deliver this, and I can only imagine how his New Jersey accent is going to sound to your French guests. Thanks, Justin. I met O'Neill our first year at Kenyon, and then there's a stage direction that says, Brendan, go ahead and sing the entirety of our alma mater song, Kokosing Farewell. Hold for applause, hold for applause. Okay, continue. I'm not actually. As freshmen, O'Neill and I looked a lot alike, mainly due to our long, flippy hair. We were almost identical. And on my first day on campus, I made the mistake of wearing a t-shirt that literally said O'Neill in giant block letters. For those of you who aren't aware, O'Neill is a clothing brand for surfers, which made a lot of sense for me to wear at the time, considering I'd spent my entire life in Kansas. So all throughout the day, people kept coming up to me and saying, "Hey, O'Neill," which was very confusing to say the least. I was like, is that a thing in college? You just call each other by what you're wearing? So I just started replying in kind. "What up, Abercrombie? Yeah, good to see you. I will have another beer, Kirkland brand from Costco." It was an awkward day. That is, until I met the actual O'Neill and everything clicked into place. The entire campus thought I was him. In that moment, I realized I had a choice. I could pin him down and shave his head, or we could become best buds forever and force people to learn the difference between us. To this day, I'm so thankful for that stupid surfing shirt because it gave me one of the greatest friendships of my life. O'Neill, your joy is as infectious as your truly booming laugh, and nothing makes more sense to me than you ending up with Marie, who seems to be the answer to the question, what would the loveliest person in the world actually be like? Celeste and I can't wait to visit you two again. And Marie, if you wanted to cook every meal, you're not going to get any guff from us. I love you both so much and can't wait to celebrate in person. So please join me and me, Brendan, in raising a glass to O'Neill and Marie.
Cheers. Thank you. Okay, I'm just going to say a few things, and then we get to hear from the bride and groom themselves. Unlike all of this gushing praise, I thought I would focus on something a little bit more practical, because O'Neill, you are welcoming a new member into the family today. And I thought I could give you some advice because that's something that I have some experience with, having 33 years ago been forced to welcome you into our family. I was 7, and so mercifully, I don't really remember exactly how I felt, but there are some clues. For instance, several months before you were born, I arrived home from art class with a sculpture of an infant that was sinking in quicksand, being sunburned during its slow descent. And this is probably a good time to remind everyone that my mother is a child psychologist. And this is what she told me. She said, "Fiery, when your brother arrives, don't worry. He's going to think you're so cool. He's going to want to do everything that you do." I had to admit that sounded pretty good. But that's not exactly how it turned out. If I wore khakis, he wore jeans. If I did student government, he ran the theater. I studied science, he made art. And obviously, khakis, student government, and science are way less cool than jeans, theater, and art. I think the only place that O'Neill ever followed me was summer camp, but even there, he struck off in his own direction. At 6 years old, he was already a fixture on the farm where I had never set foot. He made friends with a one-eyed chicken named Cyclops. They cooked Cyclops at the end of the summer for a big banquet. And O'Neill took that pretty hard. He came home a vegetarian that year, except for bacon and sausage, which he still ate because, you know.
He's an android.
And that's O'Neill. He does it his own way. He doesn't just march to his own drum. He really invents his own meter. And it's part of his magnetism. He went on to become the classic camper, a much-loved counselor. One summer, my mom and I picked him up, and he had grown his hair into this, I don't know exactly how to say it. It was this long, flippy hair that surrounded his face like a halo. And he had the gall to tell us that the girls at Camp Betsy Cox had all been saying that he looked like an angel. So we kind of rolled our eyes. We packed up his things, and we are heading out of Vermont. We stopped at a little diner for lunch. And when O'Neill gets up to go to the men's room, the waitress comes over, and she says to my mom, "Honey, your son, he looks just like an angel." And that's how it was, having this guy as my brother. He walked on air. He's always laughing, always learning something new. He makes the best friends with the best people. He's taken incredible risks to do what he's passionate about, and it's paid off. And you know it because the folks he's touched would follow him to the end of the earth. So what do you do when your kid brother walks on air? You're forced to look up to him. In other words, my mom's prediction about this new member of the family, it wasn't just a wrong prediction, it was completely backwards. I was the one who ended up being in awe of him. So that's obviously a bit of a disappointment, but I learned to make the best of it. You know, like for instance, when I introduce myself to people these days, I can say, "Hi, I'm Fiery. And my brother O'Neill is an artist. He's a painter, actually. He lives in Provence. He's in love with a chef. People say he looks kind of like an angel with a beard and a somewhat receding hairline. Anyway, O'Neill, I mention all of this because, like I said, today you're welcoming someone new into our family. And I've got a little bit of advice about what it's like when you're no longer number one. Because Marie, she's better read than you. As I learned today, she's also a better writer. She's better dressed. She laughs more, smiles bigger, speaks French a whole lot better. She can bake a tart prettier than any painting. And I'm not going to lie to you, she really does look just like an angel. It's a tough luck, kiddo. That's what it's like when you fall in love with somebody. You start out desperate to be admired by them. You end up just grateful for their company, blessed to give your own love, and happy that your lives are forever connected. And at least if you need a more exciting way to introduce yourself, now you can say, hi, I'm O'Neill, but my wife is Marie Roncesvalles. To O'Neill and Marie.
Thank you.
Thank you. Great, Fiery. Very well done.
I was so lucky.
Yeah. So I guess it's
all right, O'Neill and Marie, it's your turn.
Our turn now.
Yeah. So first, thank you so much. We're just so happy to have all of you with us, and thank you so much for all of these wonderful toasts. It was just wonderful to hear more about O'Neill, from your guys' perspective, and to feel so much love coming from you guys. So thank you.
Also, I want to give a big thank you in particular to Fiery for putting all of this together. This is funny to say just after that particular toast, because I can say truthfully that my entire life I've had you to look up to. I've had your example to follow. Even if I don't follow it literally, I can follow it in spirit. And just what a blessing that is. I can't tell you how grateful I am for that. So thank you. And also happy birthday.
Happy birthday, Fiery.
And I also want to say to all of you, just how much we miss you. We wish so much that you could all be here with us today. And just, we want you to know that each of you is so important to us. And the truth is, in virtue of your being this far away, almost all of you are from my side of the aisle, so to speak. You're the ones who in large part made me who I am today. It's funny hearing all of these stories about the first time that we met, and I think I tend to reflect on how much I've grown since each of those moments. What Nick failed to mention is that the first thing that I said to him was that his name sounds like a curse word in French. So we've come a long way as well. And I have all of you to thank for that. You taught me you taught me all how to love with empathy and with patience. You taught me the meaning of responsibility. That one in particular, probably more than any of the others. And it really is thanks to all of you that when I laugh, it is so particularly uproarious. You all give me so much to laugh about. And I have you especially to thank, because according to my lovely wife here, that laugh is what she noticed about me first. So thank you for this beautiful day, because it really is you who set me on my path here.
Yeah. On my side, though, it doesn't feel so much to me that it's O'Neill's side anymore. I'm so grateful that I've been so warmly welcomed into the family and the friend family, from the beginning. And for the first time I came to visit in the US, I was embraced with so much openness and enthusiasm, and it felt as though I had known you all along. And sorry. I've missed each one of you this year, but that longing to be with you will be very quickly turned into excitement to seeing you all soon. And which one of you know that you guys have a second apartment here in France? If you guys want to come and visit, don't come during the summer. It's really hot. You really should come at springtime. That's why our wedding was in May. I admit that it is small and almost completely filled with plants, but it is ours, and therefore, by extension, it is your apartment. We hope you will all come to see us soon. You don't need to ask. All of you need to, it's to tell us when. And we know we will see you soon for a visit and eventually for really many visits. We feel so privileged to have you all in our lives and with you as part of it. We have a wonderful future to look forward to.
So we'd like to propose one last toast, and this one is for all of you and for all of us together. We love you and we miss you and we can't wait to see you.
Yeah, we can't wait to see you guys.
We'll be there soon.
Love you too, guys.
Cheers.
Congratulations.
We might even surprise you.
Around.
And you can surprise us too. We're always welcome.
We love you guys.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Enjoy your day.
Love you guys.
Love to your family, Marie.
Yeah, I will tell them.
Then yeah, you have the love of everybody from over here.
Bye, guys. Have a wonderful, wonderful wedding day.
Thank you
so much.
Thank you.
Congratulations. Have a great day. I miss you both.
Thank you for tuning in.
On y va?
Yeah.